If you care about something, you're going to study it, right? You're not just going to get involved in something and you know nothing about it. Learn about it first, and then you can make a determination as to whether you can handle that person, handle that situation, or not. But studying before will let you know if you are equipped, if you are knowledgeable, if you are capable to handle this person. If you care about people, you study them. And I mean the origin of people. We're not studying the origin. Where are we from? Who are we? Where do we come from? What is the origin of a human being? In order to understand the origin of people and to understand who we are, we have to study. If you care, you will study. You will study women. And a lot of women, we don't study men. We don't study them. If we studied men, then we would have a better understanding on how to interact with them and really understand that you have to be very careful when you're interacting with a male species. And I'm learning to do a lot of studying on men and women. And this is the problem, is that we don't study enough, we don't read enough, and we just want to jump into things without studying. We want to jump into things without reading. We want to jump into things without understanding what are we really dealing with. And talking about relationships and men and women, it's a topic that is very sensitive, and a lot of people really don't want to discuss it. And it's very hard to even discuss, but it's important. Yes, my name is Dr. Felicia, and I'm a doctor of divinity. Yes. So God is amazing, and I happen to be a honorary doctor, right? So it's a doctor of life, a doctor of life skills. And this is how I was able to receive my doctorate degree. So anyway, when you care about people, you study. Anything that you care about, you're going to study. And so I study men very closely. And it's very important. And women are having a lot of issues and a lot of problems when it comes to relationships with men. Why? Because number one, they're not studying themselves. And number two, not studying men enough, then you're always finding yourself in situations with men. And a lot of times you're blaming yourself. And it's not the woman's fault. It's not. It's not the man's fault. It's just that we're just in too close proximity to each other. And there's a lot of things that we don't understand. And we're in relationships that are very difficult, and we don't understand why. Why are we having a lot of problems? Why are we having so many issues? But the point of me being on here today is to say that if you care, study. Study. And in some cases, men don't care about things that women care about. They just don't. They don't study or take time to think about, how am I going to please this woman? What am I going to do today to make her happy? Men just don't think about that. And it's not their fault. It's just not their makeup. And women have to understand that. And if you're trying to program someone to do something that they're really not capable of doing, it's always going to cause a conflict, because you're trying to persuade somebody to do something that they're really not capable of doing. They're not capable of doing it. But if you're not studying, then you don't care. Now, that's not to say that men can't change and men can't program themselves and really do the study on women to understand uh, a woman. If they really wanted to, they could. But you have to want it. You have to want to understand a woman. And a woman has to want to understand a man. And if you want a man in your life, you really have to be willing to put up with a lot. There's a lot that women have to deal with, and a lot of women have to understand. You cannot change a man. You cannot change a man. A man is a man. So it's either you're going to tolerate that energy, because like I said, most men are not really working on themselves. They're not working on themselves to be available to women. They don't really care that much. That's not what they care about the most. They don't care about, oh, I have to please her. They don't care about, what I need to do for her or how I need to make a woman feel. It's too technical for them. They're not interested in that. They're interested in fast-paced things, making money, working hard to get money, and really just having sex with a woman. They're not really interested in trying to please a woman and really develop a relationship with a woman, because that's not their makeup. And what we don't understand is that um, two particular, we are compared to two particular animals of the animal kingdom. And that's the bonobos and the chimpanzees. And there is so much, if we study the bonobos and the chimpanzees, then we will really get a better understanding of ourselves and who we are, right? If we understand these particular animals that we are 98.9% related to. The bonobos and the chimpanzees, those are our cousins. We are related to them. And I will maybe later on tonight try to do some study with you and teach you what I've been learning about our relation to the chimpanzees and the bonobos, to give us a better understanding of who we are as men and women, and how we could relate to each other, and how we could get a better understanding of who we are in this civilization that has us programmed. We are programmed. We are not actually living in our natural selves and natural beings, right? We're living in a society that has programmed us through many things: the educational system, the religious system. We're animals. We're animals, all right? And we have been trained. So it's not like we just came into the earth and we're just organically who we are. We're not organic, right? We're not natural. We have been programmed to be the way that we are. And so in order to be customly made for that someone that you want to be special in your life, then you have to reprogram yourself. You have to reprogram yourself and really coming together and unifying in unity, which is very kind of, it's difficult for men and women today because we're both so programmed that we're actually, men and women are actually both on the same program. And this is why we really can't get along and we have so many issues uh, between us, because we're both on the same program. And don't women are not on their program. Women are not organic. Women are not able to really live and behave in their natural selves because of this program that has divided women against women, because we're too focused on being with a man. We're too focused on trying to get the attention of a man and the company of a man and understanding a man, that we're actually programmed like a man and we're behaving like a man, and we don't even like each other. Women don't even like each other because of this program, this patriarchal society that we live in, that is really not catered to the matriarch, which is the bonobo, which is the bonobo. Because the bonobo is the female patriarch of that animal kingdom that is related to the chimpanzee, which is our cousins. We're our cousins. We're related to them. We're related to them. But since we're really not studying, we're not studying because we're so programmed. We're so hooked on Instagram. We're so hooked on TikTok. We're so hooked on these low level educational, because they are educational programs, that we're not really studying what really matters, so that women can love each other more, that women can understand that we need to stick together. We need to stick together. So I've been doing a lot of studying and really trying to get a better understanding and more clarity, you know, as to who we are. How could we fix this? What is the problem? Why is it that we're having so many issues in relationships in our society? Why is there so much division? What is going on? And the studies that I am learning and what I'm learning, it is just, it's just wow. Wow. We are in a very bad situation and we need help. We need a lot of help. We're gone. We are gone. And what I would advise people is to study bonobos, study chimpanzees, study their relation to us, and really study nature. Study nature. You know, life is nothing but a school, and we're here to learn every day. Every day, all it is a school. And it doesn't matter whether you're watching TMZ or you're watching YouTube or you're watching Instagram, wherever you're doing, every day you're learning something. You're learning something. And a lot of people, they don't want to learn, and they hear people talk and they don't want to listen because nobody wants to learn because they feel like school is over. I already know everything. I don't want to learn nothing. I don't want to hear anything, you know. But the reality is is that we are still learning every day. You got to learn. There's no way around it. So embrace learning, embrace studying, embrace reading. And your assignment today is to study bonobos and chimpanzees and their relation to human beings. Study that tonight. I love you all, and I'll be back. Bye.